Welcome to the Team Super dashboard app. Behind the scenes I have loads of tables like spreadsheets that contain all the data we may need, and I have queries for here, number of different queries, forms and reports. But let's go straight to the dashboard. Here is the dashboard, Team Super dashboard. What I do is in this area is load in the information from Smart Jobs. And as you can see, we've got how many we've got in the different areas of the queue. And if I want to see some information about that queue, I can click. It's giving me the address, the number of hours. And this form is fully customizable. So if I need to add in more information, I can just add new fields as I need. And what I've done with the in progress, scheduled and to be scheduled, well, with these two, scheduled and to be scheduled, I've gone in and from the data that we have of the number of hours that go into the quote, I've worked out the number of man days for both of those. And in the in progress, I've worked out the number of man days quoted less what's actually done so far. This then gives us the total number of man days or man weeks. We've got one man working for 7.5 weeks or two men for 3.5 weeks. This will give us an idea of how much work we've actually got in store, because everything below here has not yet been accepted. So that's just something to as a sort of a workflow to see what our sort of workflow position is. One of the main reports is the total hours of in progress jobs compared to quoted. For example, in Wilbury Road we've done 58. This is not quoted, this is not correct. I've just put a figure in here to show that the balance is negative. So if it's red, it means we're over. But if we go to different jobs, we can see the number of hours done, the quoted, the balance. This goes for all the jobs in the in progress queue. Now if we go to a particular job, what we do is we can see not just the quoted hours, but also the quoted materials per the invoice, how much has been spent and what the balance is. And for example, I've put a sample numbers in to show that we're over on both. And if we wanted to view the materials, we can quite easily just now see which invoices have been assigned. One thing we will need to do is put in the invoices, the materials that go straight to the office through accounts. So we need sometimes the workers, when they go and put things on account, to get some sort of receipt so that they can enter it under Team Super, so we actually know the position to have a sort of real-time position rather than a delayed position. And if we want to look at another job, example again, this one's now got a lot of hours left, but it's over in materials. We've just seen the example of the materials, but that's an individual report if we need it. For any job, we can look at what have been the receipts for the materials for that job. Standard contractors hours report. This will be a report that gives for the last week the number of hours that contractors are going to invoice us for, and it can be a standard report for Sarah in the accounts office so that she can then compare that with the invoices that are sent. And this would be for a period of from the 30th last week, from the 30th of June to the 4th of July, giving us the number of hours per contractor and their total and where they worked with the job reference numbers. And if we wanted a more customized report, say we wanted from the 2nd of July just until say the 4th of July, it then gives us exactly the same but a start date and an end date. These are all the main reports here. This is the workflow. What we can do is post those reports to a website, Team Super, shall we say /admin. And what I've done as a sample is I've put them onto my site. And basically the current in progress report is here. We've seen this one before. The contractors' hours for the week 30th of July the 4th. Here they are too, so that people can easily download them, save them to their computer and print them out. This is the Team Super dashboard, which really now analyzes jobs by time and by material and gives us a workflow so we can see how much work's actually booked in the relevant queues to see whether we need to take any particular action with quoted.